Now let's look at data theft policy, data theft by users leaving organization. Click on get started. Give the policy name here. Then this particular policy actually monitors these all indicators. These are actually selected within the policy, by default selected while creating. However, you can also customize this after creating the policy. Then your theft policy is created. These are the two options. Email me when policies have unresolved warnings. Email me when new high severity alerts are generated. Let's look at data theft by leaving policy. Let's see what is there within that. So there are multiple options within data theft by departing users are available. One is HR data connector, second is devices onboarded, third is physical badging connector, then connect cloud applications. Now HR data connector is an option where this particular policy act needs all the employee details who are actually leaving from the company, who have resigned the company, and who are currently working in notice period. There are multiple HR scenarios which are available. We will look into it further. Then devices onboarded. So the devices that are onboarded in Microsoft Purview or the Defender, those will be monitored as part of data theft by departing users. And this will be monitored for the users who are available in, monitored by the users who are actually leaving the company. Similarly, physical badging information is actually monitored for the users who are in notice period or leaving the company. Similarly, cloud activities that are happening on cloud applications are monitored, triggering events are monitored, activities detected include downloading files from SharePoint, printing files, copying data to personal cloud storage services, etc. In order to create the policy, click on next, and then you can provide the name of the policy and provide description of the policy. Then either you can select for all users, groups, and adaptive scopes, or you can select specific users, groups, and specific adaptive scopes. In case you want to exclude any users from the company or any groups, you can select those users and groups here. Then here there are two options. I want to prioritize content. Basically this will allow you to prioritize the content, allows you to select the content which has to be monitored. So the content which is provided in, which is present in SharePoint sites, sensitivity labels that you want to prioritize as part of this particular policy, sensitive info types, file extensions, trainable classifiers. The next one is I don't want to prioritize content right now. So this will not prioritize any content. It will uh, identify all the areas. Now you can select the SharePoint sites as part of prioritizing the content. So you can give specific SharePoint sites. You can select the SharePoint site here. You can select the SharePoint site here and you can add it. Just for example, I'm adding one. Then click on next. Now you can prioritize the sensitive labels. You can select the sensitive labels which you want to prioritize. So the content which has these particular sensitive labels will be monitored by this policy. Then add or edit sensitive info types. Select any sensitive info type which you want this particular policy to identify. Then you can give the file extensions to prioritize. I mean, the leaks policy, the data theft policy will be checking for these files. You can provide all the file extensions. You can provide up to 50 file extensions in this particular section so that the data theft policy can prioritize these particular files. And you can add trainable, so you can add trainable classifiers. Then decide whether to score only activity with priority content. Then get alerts for all the activity, get alerts only for activity that includes priority content. So there are two options. So while choosing the triggering event for this policy, HR data connector events, user account deleted from Microsoft Entra ID. Then sharing SharePoint files with people outside the organization. So these are different indicators based on which this particular data theft policy would be monitoring and triggering. Then the detection options. So here you can see the sequence detection. So under sequence detection you have different sequences. So once you select these sequences will be considered. These sequences will be considered I mean any action that happens with this within this sequence, then the data theft policy will be identifying those activities. So you can provide all the thresholds here. You can apply thresholds provided by Microsoft, or you can choose your own thresholds. So the number of events for each of the indicators have to be provided here. So based on number of events, a particular threshold is considered as severe, highly severe, medium severity, and low severity. Click on submit. In this way, the data theft policy is created. Once it is submitted, it would get created. So this has created the policy once again with all the options that are selected. Done.